Hello YouTube, welcome to week 2, day 4. So this is the final day of week 2. So pretty much the same as week 4, day 4 of week 1. Strongman again. So starting off with these banded axle deadlifts. So the band length there is 7 feet 6 inches, medium sized band, not too thin but not too thick. And yeah, just pulling these for speed really. So 3 warm up sets, 80 kilos, 120 kilos, which is this one. And then 1/3 and final warm up set with 150 kilos or 330 pounds. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to put out 3 or 4 videos a week. I'm training for a competition at the moment, even though I've not signed up to it. And one of the events is an axle bar deadlift, so I'm chucking that in twice a week. I'm really training that, one heavy and then a lighter day, which I'm doing now with just bands. So the plan today was to do 170 kilos or 375 pounds for 6 sets of 2 banded axle deadlifts and just try and pull them for speed. Harder than it looks, because obviously like an axle bar is harder to lift than a regular bar. There's no bend or whip in an axle bar. So if you watch my videos a lot, you'll notice that sometimes I like to take the slack out of the bar, but obviously with an axle bar that's not really possible. So I'm still trying to do it, even though obviously being an axle bar, the bar's not going to bend. But I'm still trying to make a conscious effort to do that anyway, and just locking myself in position, wedging myself against the bar, and just literally pulling as fast as I can for all I'm worth. So yeah, just 6 sets 2 for speed on that. This is the 6th and final set now. I will be making progressions on these in some way, whether it's more sets, more reps or more weight. So did you notice there the bar did move ever so slightly off the floor. So this training session is Sunday, so another Strongman Sunday session. So starting off with farmers holds. So last week I did farmers walks, 15 metres drop and turn. So this time I'm not walking or running with the weight, I'm simply just holding it this time. So 64 kilos in each hand for 10 seconds and then 104 kilos for 5. So just a couple of warm up sets, no chalk, no belt. I don't want to fatigue my grip or whatever, so I'm literally just doing 2 sets, 10 seconds with the first set and then a bit more weight and then 5 seconds. I find that works quite well for me. And then the plan today was just to use the same weight and do 3 sets of 30-second holds. So I thought, okay, well I'll start with 114 kilos or 251 pounds per hand. That'll be like my starting point, and then I can go from there, because in the competition it's going to be 130 kilos in each hand, so it would be nice if I could hold that for 3 sets of 30. I actually found this quite tough. So notice this first set I'm not wearing a belt and I wasn't using any chalk, but I did find it quite hard. Not to failure, I could have gone higher, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do that full 3 sets, so I added a belt for the second set, as you can see there, and I added chalk this time. And this felt easier than the first set, but it did feel hard. But I've like told myself that, you know, in order to progress the load, I have to hit 3 sets of 30 and not to failure. If I can do that, then I can increase. And I did manage today, but it wasn't easy, so I'll probably have to go up slowly on the progressions on these, but I would like to end with at least 130 kilos in each hand, because that's what is going to be in the competition. I don't really see the point of doing more than 30 seconds, because in the competition it's going to be 20 metres drop and turn, so 40 metres, and if it takes me more than 30 seconds to do that, then obviously I've got a problem, and that's going to really hurt my points if I'm slower than that. So I'm literally just alternating between farmers. I'm doing farmers every week, but I'm alternating between farmers carries and farmers holds. So last week it was farmers carries, this week holds, and then next week I'll go back to carries again. Last week the carries was 104 per hand, so I'll probably will increase that next week. So I think with that third and final set, I was probably about 5 or 10 seconds away from failure. So I didn't go to failure on any of them 3 sets, but it wasn't easy, so I probably will go up slowly on that. After that, sandbag over yoke bar. So in the competition, I've got 160 kilo Atlas stone, and that's got to be lifted over this yoke bar, which is 54 inches or 4 feet 6 inches. So last week I did stone, so I'm doing sandbag this time. In the competition, it is stones, but the reason I'm going to alternate and do sandbag every other week, and that's just simply just to save my arms really. I don't really want to be doing Atlas stones week in and week out, and I feel that sandbag will give my arms a rest from that, whereas at the same time still getting used to it in a way really. So my programming for this was to chuck that 105 kilo or 231 pound sandbag over the yoke, and I'm doing like an EMOM sets here. So basically 1 rep every minute on the minute, and I set myself the goal of doing it for 12 minutes. So you don't actually see it here, but I actually did fail the 105 kilo bag the first time I tried it. I think I just didn't get the position right. So I just let it go and then just reset the clock again and then started from there. And I think it's just where my mind wasn't in it. But once I got focused and all that, it was easy after that. And yeah, in fairness, actually, this sandbag over yoke was quite comfortable actually. So we're on the 5th set now, and yeah, I didn't really struggle. I didn't make any mistakes. I completed every single rep for the full 12 minutes without fail. So as you can see, the setting up and actually chucking it over the bar generally takes 10-15 seconds. So my rest time is only about 45 seconds roughly, and then I have to go again. So I do like the every minute on the minute protocols. Now when I did stones last week, I just went up to 100 kilos on the stone, but just to see where I'm at, since I hadn't done stones for a long time. So next week I'll probably do an EMOM protocol on the stones as well, and then on the alternate week, which will be sandbag again, I'll probably repeat this, but I'll try and do more work in less time. So I've done with this today, I've done 12 reps in 12 minutes. This is the 8th set now. So in a couple of weeks I'll do sandbag again, but I'll give myself only 10 minutes, but in that 10 minutes I want to be able to do at least these 12 reps, if not more. So I'm basically going to try and just do more work in less time, and that's known as escalated density training or EDT training, and that's quite good for things like this, for sandbags and stones, where you're constantly doing reps with it and you're barely resting. I do like that. It's a way to get lots of good singles practice in, because this sandbag over yoke, it is quite a bit technical really. You really want to make sure, watch what I'm doing here, you really want to make sure that you get as much of your arms and hands underneath it, and I need to like hinge properly at the top there and make sure that I drive it up high, because if you're too low it's just not going to go over the yoke bar, so you really need to be mindful of that. Once I got into my flow though, this was quite easy, so I'll try and be quicker with these, and then at some point, I don't know if you can see it there, the red sandbag, you'll see it in a minute, that red sandbag is 136 kilos or 300 pounds, so I want to be getting to the stage where I can do that for EMOM reps, because if I can't even do that, if I struggle with this sandbag and the 300 sandbag, then how do I expect to get a 160 kilo stone in a competition for reps? So I do really need to like get a finger out here and just make sure that I'm good. Okay folks, so I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. Do you want some more? Yes! Okay then, as a little treat, we're going to take a look at some bonus sandbag footage. So we're going to up the ante now and go for the 300 pound sandbag. And yeah, I've got to say this was actually quite easy and all. I wasn't going to do this, but I just wanted to finish off on a good note, and yeah, that was actually quite easy actually, so I'm really pleased with that. So I do want to get to the point where I can do that for multiple sets, and then just to finish off I had to put it away afterwards. I thought I'd do it in style, so sandbag to shoulder and then do some WWE wrestling moves on it and do a running power slam. So yeah, this really is the end of the video now, so thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for the next video.